Hello and welcome to our 5 minutes with Ekaterina Ukrainian poetry. I hope you like legends and old stories because our poetess for today is Marusia Churaj. And there are no proofs that she existed. Actually, there is only one small document talking about her, or maybe about other Marusya, which says that her death penalty was replaced by forgiveness. Can you just think what can be behind the story? Why would the young lady sentenced to death? Did you guess that it's somehow connected to love? And that's actually true. It was a very interesting story. That's why it became a legend. And this only document, it mentions, or legend surrounded it, it mentions lots of real people whom we do know that they existed. And all they lived in 17th century. So if Marusya ever existed, she lived in Ukraine, in Poltava region in the 17th century. This was the time of Cossacks rebels, of trials to create independent Getmanshchina, which was the Ukrainian independent state. Marusya's father, Горі, was one of the leaders of anti-Polish rebels, and regretfully, he was captured and killed in Warsaw. After the death of her father, Marusya with her mother lived in Poltava, and they had a nice small house on the bank of Vorskla River. She was very beautiful as a girl, as a young girl, and there were lots of men who wanted to marry her, who loved her, among which there would be very famous later Ivan Iskra. He was one of the leaders of Cossack rebels later in the story. But she didn't love him and she refused him. Instead, she loved the other Cossack whose name was Gricü. They agreed to marry each other, and she said that she will wait for him when he will go to the battlefield. He went at war, and she waited for 4 long years. There were lots of other men coming and saying that they are ready to marry her, proposing her. She refused, and she was saying that she has her love. But after he came back, he decided that he doesn't want to live with Marusya, who didn't have any money because her father died, her mother couldn't have the big property, and it wasn't a good time anyway to make a good living. So Gricü found another girl who was rich. He said that he doesn't want to know Marusya at all, and he's going to marry another girl. For Marusya it was terrible, of course, and she decided to poison herself. This was a hard decision. The folklore says that she went to the local witch. Ukrainians still in some parts of Ukraine, especially in villages, we do believe in witchcraft. Of course, in 17th century, there were witches everywhere in every village. And she went there and she asked for poison. She wanted to poison herself. And here the legend is a little bit different. Some people say that she wanted to poison him. Anyway, we don't know what exactly happened, but she wanted to say goodbye for him. She prepared this poison. She wanted, they say, to drink it herself. But something happened and he drank it. He died from this poisoning. She, of course, we didn't have anything, and she just said that it was her who killed him. She was sentenced for death. But let's remember Ivan Iskra. Ivan Iskra went to the Khmelnytsky, to Bogdan Khmelnytsky, and he took this paper in order to save her. He had to do it very fast, and he did it very fast. He managed to do it. He saved her life because he took the document that they said that she should be forgiven because of the songs she created during these years. And her songs at the time, they were very popular. She was missing her loved person, and this you will hear it, they were beautiful. Regretfully, they didn't marry with Ivan Iskra. Couple of years passed, she was depressed, and maybe she got the illness, some kind of disease. Again, the legend is different here. and she died in the age of 28. That is the story, how people remember it. I don't know if it's true, but it's said, like all Ukrainian stories, we like, maybe it's real, maybe not, but for me it's beautiful. Let me know what do you think about this story. Do you think that fidelity is the main, or maybe that it was accident? What would you do in such situation now? Or can we compare now and then? And of course, let's read together. For reading, I choose 2 poems written by Marusya. The first one is called Віють, вітри, віють, буйні. Віють вітри, віють буйні, аж дерева гнуться. Ой, як болить моє серце, а сльози не ллються. Трачу літа в лютім горі і кінця не бачу. Тільки тоді полегша, як нишком поплачу. Не поправлять сльози щастя, серцю легше буде. Хто щасливим був часочок, по смерті не забуде. Єсть же люди, що і мої завидують долі. Чи щаслива та билинка, що росте на полі? Що на полі, що на пісках, без роси, на сонці, тяжко жити без милого і в своїй сторонці. Де ти, милий чорнобривий, де ти, озовися? Як я бідна тут горюю, прийди подивися. Полетіла б я до тебе, та крилець не маю, щоб побачив, як без тебе з горя висихаю. До кого я пригорнуся і хто приголубить, коли тепер того нема, який мене любить. That was the first poem probably dedicated to Gricyu after his death. But before his death, when everything seemed to be okay, there was another poem when she's saying, don't go Gricyu to вечорниці. And вечорниці is kind of meetings where young people trying to meet girlfriends or boyfriends trying to meet each other. They were held in separate building. Usually it was the house of the widow, and widow didn't interrupt it, so young people can just enjoy their time, sing songs, laugh, and some people say that they are not modest. The tradition of вечорниці were not modest, and they were quite free. Let's read it. It calls «Ой, не ходи, Грицю, та й на вечорниці». «Ой, не ходи, Грицю, та й на вечорниці, бо на вечорницях дівки-чарівниці. Котра дівчина чорні брови має, то тая дівчина усі чари знає. У неділю рано зіллячко копала, а у понеділок пополоскала. Прийшов вівторок, зіллячко зварила, а в середу рано Гриця отруїла. Як прийшов четвер, та вже Гриць помер. Прийшла п'ятниця, поховали Гриця. А в суботу рано мати дочку била. Ой, на що ж ти, доню, Гриця отруїла? Ой, мамо, мамо, Гриць жалю немає, на що ж Гриць, мамо, разом двох кохає? Нехай же не буде ні тій, ні мені, нехай достанеться Гриць сирій землі. All these verses became a folk song, so nobody knows how much. That's it. That were our poems for today. Both of them you can listen as songs now if you can find them on YouTube. Tell me what you think. Don't forget about your likes. Subscribe for this channel if you are not with me yet. And if you really enjoy this time, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much for all my patrons. It's because of you these videos still exist, and I'm trying to improve them every day. Thank you for watching. I hope to meet you very soon. Goodbye.